in Toronto with Julia Murney, who's getting ready for her show tonight.
Wonderful.
Do you want to tell the people a little bit about what is going on tonight?
What is going on tonight? Hi. There.
Hi.
You can catch the reflection.
Yeah, I got it.
That I'm singing with the, I have to get this right, the Upper Canada Children's Choir, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's a choir of kids from, I believe, ages 7 to about 18. And they're so cute. The little ones are so cute. It's ridiculous. And I had no idea, but this choir, Brian Rollins is the name of it, and his wife Michelle are the sort of conductors of the whole thing. And do you know about this choir? Is this like something that you know about?
This is something new, yeah.
Well, they've traveled all over the world. Who knew? They
Yeah.
sang at the Vatican.
Really?
Yeah, for fancy people. And they've been to, not, like the whole choir I think is about 170 voices, and not everybody goes on all the trips, but they've gone to Prague, and they've done all this really cool stuff. I was like, I want to be in the children's choir.
Yeah,
What's
me too.
happening? So that's, and then they have guest artists come up and
Like
sing with
yourself?
them, like myself. And a friend of mine named Gary Maurer, who I did some concerts with the Philadelphia Pops, has performed with them with his wife, and he gave them my name, and here I am in a bathroom in Toronto putting on makeup.
I was going to ask you how you got to be a part of it.
That's how, Gary,
Awesome.
Gary Maurer.
Okay, cool. Cool, so for those of you who don't know, Julia's a talented actress who in 2006 released her first album, I'm Not Waiting. What made you decide to release a solo album?
Really, in the end, what made me decide to release a solo album was because I got asked to do Wicked. And it was one of those things where I thought, well, knowing that I had the sort of the outlet to sell it and to sell it in the lobby and it's something that's high profile, that was going to help. So we really quickly put the album together before I left on tour, and it came out about halfway through the time that I was on tour.
Okay, do you have a favorite song from the album?
I don't.
No?
I feel like everybody says this, but it's true.
Yeah.
You know, they're like dear babies, and you like them all for different reasons.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
I mean, it depends on my mood and all that kind of stuff. And but do you have a favorite song on the album?
No, actually, I was just listening to it again today. I actually really like your rendition of Beautiful Boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
it's very different than what I've heard it before, and I really...
Well, it was that's sort of kind of the way it was in the show,
Yeah.
Lennon. And because we didn't get an album, I thought I'd put it on there. But I mean, one of the popular runs on that album seems to be Fancy.
Yes, yes, that was actually...
Yeah, when I do solo concerts, Fancy is the one that more often than not people say, you're going to sing Fancy, right? You're
Yeah,
going to sing Fancy, right?
yeah.
And by the way, I just want to explain to the recording that the reason I'm putting on makeup and being so rude is because there are 170 children in the choir and everything runs behind, so the concert's really soon.
You're not being rude.
I just wanted to make it clear.
We're good.
She's being awesome for doing this with us, for sure.
I just like that I can see my reflection in this whole I'm just going to see myself standing there.
Say hi.
Oh,
Yeah, so like Julia just said, she played the role of Elphaba in Wicked. Would you actually, I was going to ask, do you consider yourself more of a singer or more of an actress?
I consider myself more of an actress, whatever you call it. Just because I don't feel like I have the kind of an instrument that can do neat tricks and neat stuff, which I'm so in awe of, people who can do that kind of stuff, who can either just belt into the stratosphere or who can do really cool riffing and never sing a song the same way twice. And that's so, I just admire that so much, but I can't do it. And so the way I have to approach stuff, and especially a show like Wicked, which is an intimidating show to have to try to sing, is from an acting point of view, which is why the greatest shows to do are the ones, for me anyway, are the ones that have something to act. And it's,
what was your experience like with Wicked? Everybody seems to have a positive feedback on doing it.
You get to be a big rock star.
Yeah.
It's also, for me anyway, it was incredibly hard. It's very, very hard, and not because anyone made it difficult. I mean, everyone was wonderful, and from my Kendra, who was my Glinda, all the way down to whatever, you know, the crew guys that you guys are unaware of that make the whole show run. Everyone does what they can to try to make you comfortable. It's just, your body goes, what are you doing over and over again, and why are you doing it? And then, so it's like all the alphabets lose their minds a little bit, and I lost my mind, and my health just got really bad, and I couldn't make it better, and that's frustrating, because it's your job, and you want to do it, and I think there's a sort of group of people who don't exactly understand that, who just like, well, she missed another show. I'm like, you know what? You do it.
Yeah,
you do
exactly.
it. Because guess what? It's not easy, kids.
No.
And I never wanted to miss. I don't know anyone who, just because I'm not going to do the show tonight, whether they're playing Alphabet or anything else. Nobody, because we don't get paid when we don't do a show. That might be news to some of you. We don't get paid. Hence, you often need to do the show because we have to pay rent and things like that.
Exactly.
And it's hard, and people really put themselves through it, trying to go, oh no, I'll do it, and then it's rough. It's rough on your self-esteem.
Yeah.
Going out and doing a show that you don't feel is your best.
Yeah. Now you did the show on tour as well as on Broadway. Was there a big difference that you found between trying to do both?
The giant difference was just being at home.
Yeah.
You know, that
you could go home to your own place every night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as opposed to being, it's a kind of a role where you really don't spend a lot of time going out as much as you might normally, and so to spend all your time holed up in a hotel room isn't very much fun.
No.
Even though everyone is out and everyone was always very kind and asked me to go out with them, but I was just like, I have to, you know.
Yeah.
But,
You got to take care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's only so long that my body could handle doing it.
Yeah.
And everybody's different. I mean, there are some people, Eden's has done it for so long. She's my hero. She's amazing. And I think that score is low for her too. Like she's just, she can sing in the stratosphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, another big thing that we were talking about earlier, actually, Stephanie and I, is the economy and what's happening with Broadway. So many shows closing.
Or as my friend Seth would say, a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's awful.
What are your feelings on it?
It's really bad. I mean, I have a friend who lives here in Toronto who just got her green card and is, she did a Broadway show for a tiny bit of time, but she's planning on moving to New York, and I'm going to see her tonight, and part of me wants to say to her, now, does the green card expire? Because you should wait.
Yeah.
Because it's truly, it's terrifying. I think, I'm not positive of the number, I think like 15 shows or something are closing in the next month.
Yeah.
Some of them are
we were just
limited.
saying, I think it's 10 alone on January 4th.
Right, some of them weren't supposed to run beyond their dates, but some of them were.
Yeah.
And it's not like there's all this other stuff coming down the pike. Like, oh, but this is coming and this is coming. I only know off the top of my head, I can think of 3 musicals that are coming.
Like there's 15 going out and 3 going in.
And 2 of those 3 musicals are revival.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying for everybody, and it's not just, I got shot. It's not just the actors either. You know, I ran into a crew guy in the subway the other day, and he's working on a play that finishes in a few weeks, and he doesn't have anything lined up, and usually the crew guys do.
Yeah.
They kind of bounce from show to show.
Yeah.
He's got nothing.
Really?
And it's the massive trickle down. And really what people can afford. It's not cheap to go to a Broadway show.
It's not.
When you're coming from out of town and you want good seats, you know, you want to sort of guarantee that part of it.
Exactly.
But even TKT, I mean, it's not a cheap evening.
No, for sure.
And I think there are certainly diehard theater fans who will always go to the theater when they go into town. But going to New York alone is expensive. I'm telling you. So the thought of adding on to that, and it equals them not feeling, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of having the courage to go to produce things that are a little off the beaten track. They're looking for sort of a guarantee. That's why there are all these revivals, because you go, West Side Story. That's beautiful. Everyone will come see West Side Story because it's West Side Story. Exactly. And it's harder with a tiny show, and if you don't have a lot of flying monkeys and things like that, to where people go, I see where my money is.
Yeah.
My $125 or whatever it is. And that's not what a show should be about, is seeing where your money is. But
then it's hard for little shows that are so incredible, like Title of Show.